Hey everybody, Steve Beecham here with a Beach Talk, and I've gathered three of the sexiest, smartest, richest, coolest women that I know in Alpharetta, Georgia to come talk to me tonight. We want to explore about what does it take to be successful in your community if you're a female and you're in your own business. And so I asked them to come talk to me tonight. So I've got Donna Murphy with me, I've got Heather with me, and I've got Lisa with me. And they're going to all tell you a little bit about their business and what they do. So we're going to start off with Donna first. So Donna, tell us a little bit about what you do and how long you've been doing it.
Well, I'm in residential real estate. I'm from Alpharetta, so this is my hometown. Did you ask me how?
How did you get in the real estate business?
Well, straight out of college, I was in IT sales. Then I was home for a while, and then trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Went back to UGA, took a class, decided IT wasn't for me, and took my real estate test, and here I am.
And you've been doing it how long?
Over 10 years. I got in as everybody was getting out, and it's a tough business, but it's very rewarding.
So you've had a good run, right?
I've had a great run. I love what I do.
So Heather, tell us a little bit about what you do.
I own and operate Anchor Marketing. We do branded products, corporate apparel, printing, fulfillment, warehousing, anything with a logo on it. That's like what I like to say.
And what were you doing before?
I've been in this industry for a very, very long time, but started off in printing and started Anchor Marketing in 2005. And I've just been steadfast in Alpharetta, just growing like crazy. Busier than ever.
All right, Lisa.
I'm an attorney. I handle real estate and estate planning matters. I've been doing this for 27 years. It's really the only career I've ever had, and I've only worked in Alpharetta since I graduated from law school. So.
All right, so Donna, tell me a little bit about what's good about your industry right now and what's bad about your industry.
Wow. I thought the question was, is it good or bad?
Well, whichever way you want to do it.
Well, you're changing the question on me.
What I did, but tell me a little bit.
Check your notes.
What's good?
You know, I've got notes here that I'm going by.
Right now, real estate's good, right?
It's great. It's we just finished one of the best years we've ever had. Probably the best since the recession of 08.
And what's bad about it? What are the things that bother you about it?
Gosh, the inventory is so low. People are out there looking, depending on the area that you want to buy in, like Alpharetta.
Right.
The inventory is very.
So that kind of is disappointing because you got people that want to buy and you can't help them out. So.
It's good and bad. It's great for sellers. It's a seller's market. They're getting top dollar for their properties, but at the same time, people that are looking, there's just not a lot to choose from.
So Heather, what's happening in your world?
What's good? It's super busy.
But why? I thought businesses were going bad, and
people have marketing budgets carried over from 2020 they weren't able to use because nobody was working in the office.
Okay.
So they're coming in.
They got extra money.
Coming in 21, and they need to figure out how to thank their employees for sticking with them during this last 9 months. And then they're trying to prospect by sending their clients things. And so our fulfillment business, warehousing business, inventory is awesome. But is every company that way? I mean, aren't there companies that aren't buying stuff because their business is terrible? Yeah, there are people that are just on a freeze, 100% on a freeze, depending on what industry they're in. But if they have a sales force and they have clients nationally that they just want to touch and be in touch with, then we're busy with that.
So are you finding that they're spending more money now on your type of marketing versus what they did before because they can't go face to face?
Yes, and I'll say why, because there's no trade shows, no one's traveling. All of our spring and fall travel big conferences aren't happening. So all of that money, think of all that travel money, it's all being put into gifts. And so we're just gift packing and shipping. So you asked me what's bad about it?
Yeah, what's bad?
Okay, what's bad about it? The gift packing.
you mean you have it in the work?
Well, no, the inventory is tough. A lot of our things come from China, and it's hard to get inventory. So
Getting your products fulfilled.
It's been tough. And then the carriers, UPS, FedEx, it's a nightmare. So, and unfortunately, I can't guarantee like I used to be able to, but people understand.
Cool. All right, Lisa, what's happening in real estate?
It's busy as can be. It's I say it's busy as can be because everyone was refinancing in 2020 and buying and selling new properties. But like Donna said, there's not a lot of inventory, so there's not a ton of buying and selling going on because people are waiting for that perfect house or that one that they can get, because there could be like 5 or 8 people bidding on the same property.
So I want to know, how with COVID, what did you do to make your business better during COVID? What change did you make that you think helped you stay the same or accelerate your business? In other words, you didn't go backwards. There's COVID. We got a problem. You had to pivot somehow, right? So can you think about, either one of you, is there something you did differently to keep it going or to accelerate your business?
For me, it was really just figuring out how to pivot on a dime. Like, today's a new rule. What do we have to do to adjust to this new rule? And I look at this as like 2020 was really just like scrambling and just trying to keep going and get to the end. And now 2021, I want to be more focused and deliberate on business and taking care of your customer.
So what did you do differently this year than you did last year because of COVID?
So last year, we were just trying to get it done. Things were in the pipeline, and then we're shut down, and we're like, shoot, what the heck do we do? Oh, look. Donna and I, we were trying to contact the state capitol to get Zoom closings done and Zoom notaries.
The notary.
E-notary. We're like, who do we call? How do we get this done? And we were trying to get it done, second week of March, trying to figure out what we could do to stay in business. Mm-hmm. And so it was just a scramble. Every day was a scramble of some sort.
So what'd you do different?
Oh, I became the queen of hand sanitizer and face masks.
So you took that COVID moment and said, I'm going to go promote it.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of hand sanitizer and face masks. Literally.
That's so cool.
That was literally all anybody wanted. Mm-hmm. And so then, all of that health related, things, the touch pulls and whatnot.
Right.
And some of them were, give and go. But that's where I survived solely on that.
So you took the opportunity and ran with it.
Well, it came to me, but yes,
Yeah.
The answer is yes. And I think I leaned on social media a lot more. I had hired a company to run that for me, and I think that we did a really good job together targeting that unknown of what we need to be doing right now to be safe. And so I think we just rode that the whole way.
So Donna, what happened? I mean, people were scared to let people in their houses to show them and mask and remember all that. But so how did you take this COVID moment and make it your friend?
Well, our friend was Governor Kim, who declared real estate an essential business.
Oh.
And for the state of Georgia, that was huge. For our economy, that was huge. Not every state did that. So we had to adhere to strict CDC guidelines, but we were open for business, and that made all the difference. I think that's why we were able to do as well as we did. But also, when we talk about COVID, people were sheltered in place for a long period of time. So they're like, maybe this house is too big, or maybe this house is too small, or
I hate my bathroom.
I hate my bathroom. We need to remodel. Right.
Yeah.
We don't want to remodel. We want to move.
Yeah, I don't like the neighbor.
I'd move if I hated my bathroom that bad.
But all of a sudden,
These
they
opportunities.
redefined the use of their space. And I need an office. I may need 2 offices because we're both working from home. I can't go out and socialize like I used to. So the outdoor recreation space became, something that they were looking for. It really changed our business a lot.
So did any of y'all accelerate your online business during that time? Has that been any piece of what's happened for you?
No.
So your businesses, in your opinion, then that kind of goes to the next thing. What do you think drives your business? What do you think is the reason why your businesses are doing well? Anybody?
We're people.
Yeah.
We
And we
like
focus on our
people, and we
clients.
focus on just being kind and nice to the folks in our lives.
Yeah.
Personal service is key. I can't tell you how many people call me and say, "Oh, I just made the biggest mistake. I ordered online. It never came, or it came in wrong. I had no recourse. No one's answering my phone call. I need somebody I can go and see, who I can trust, and who I know, who has friends that I have friends with, and who do business with you." That's a done deal for people. They want personal service.
So taking care of your customer. So does your customer become family? How would you?
Depends on
Wow,
the
that's a big
customer.
question.
There's only
These two are. You are. These two are. Not everybody, but I mean,
They do.
they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's human
I
nature,
think the
isn't
reason
it?
we're
Yeah.
so successful is because we focus on our clients.
But what does that mean? What does that mean, focus on your client?
I get to know my clients from a closing. Let's say the real estate agent sends the people to me, or the purchaser decides to use me for a closing. I become friends with the seller too, and the seller's agent, so that they become business as well. Like, I just make it a personal meeting, a personal gathering for everybody, not just the people who brought me the business in the first place.
Is that kind of like people are coming into your house for dinner? They're sitting around the table kind of thing? I mean, how do you think about that? Because not everybody really wants to meet the other party per se, right? You know, you've got your customers.
Well, with COVID, we do kind of keep everybody separate in my line of work. But I just try and like talk about something where there's commonality. And then I really get to know the person, and I get to know about their family, and I just try and remember little tidbits about them that they've told me, and then that's important in the future. Next time you see them, oh, how's your mom? Is she doing okay? You know,
Do you think that's who you are?
it's natural. Exactly.
Who you are?
Yeah.
Well, I also think
Yeah.
it's a progression of your business. When you're less concerned about making the dollar because you have to pay the rent, you're more concerned, like when your focus is not on the money and it's more on a relationship and the process and the enjoyment of doing your job. That comes later in business, I feel like. I mean, at least we're all sort of in the same
Yeah.
It's not about making
season of
the
our
sale.
business.
It's about building the
I mean,
relationship.
I remember starting out, and I'm like hustling
Yes.
like every business card and pen order I can find just to trick. I mean, turning tricks. And then you get to where
Turning tricks?
Are you in that sense? and then you get to where you're not relying on the dollar so much, and it's more about how is it really working for you, and you start to care more about the result, and then and helping more. Like, that's my word of the year, helping. I mean, you just stop worrying about the dollar and start worrying about the impact.
I think what we're saying is we're 100% referral.
Yeah, 100%.
We base our business on the service we provide to our clients, and they tell their friends and they tell their family, and that's
Okay, but it didn't start. But it didn't start out that way, right? Okay, so you've got. Go ahead.
I think well, for me, it did start out that way, right? I have this vision that you can grow your business like an inverted pyramid. If you have 2 clients one year, the next year you can have 4 clients. And then you have 16 clients, and then 64 clients. Because the more people you do business with, the more referrals you can get going on. And so you just really have to know one person.
if you do
Well,
a
if
good
you
job.
do a good job.
Yeah.
True.
Okay, do a good job, number
Yeah.
one. Then they have to like you. If they
Yeah.
like you, that's why they're coming back, because the next guy can do a good job too. But I think you have to do a good job, and that's just like I used to say,
Yeah.
there's really no such thing as good customer service. If that's what you're riding your horse on, good customer service, you're out of business, because it's not about that.
Right.
You got to care a little bit more, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're really only as good as the service you provide.
So, if you were starting out and you had to do it all over again, and you were, starting your business in Alpharetta, or let's say my daughter wants to start a business in Alpharetta, and I ask you to coach her, what are some of the things you would tell her that she needs to do? I guess what I'm saying, there's a lot of people out there that have businesses that are women, and you have some negativity that you tell yourself, oh, they don't know who I am, or I'm not good enough at what I do, or my price is too high, or I've got kids and I can't get out, and they have all these reasons why they're not successful, right? So I'm trying to figure out how do we let them know, hey, here's some things that you need to do. Here's what I did. Here's how I worked through that process. Here's how I made it happen.
Okay, I would join a chamber or some sort of local networking group. I would get on an advisory board for a school.
Okay.
Because there's so many levels and angles of business and relationships that come from the school areas. Because the parents are all working people, or half are working people and half are home people. You get sort of all angles. And then I would choose a charity that you can volunteer time and or money, and your family and your business can donate time or money to a particular charity. Then you can sort of get known. You adopt that as a family, or do a Rotary type thing, which is a lot of evidence.
I mean, for me, it's not whether you're male or female. It's the job that we do, and we do it to the best of our ability. I mean, for a mentor, learn your trade, educate yourself, stay updated, stay focused, and it doesn't matter. I mean, whether you're an attorney or in marketing or a real estate agent, we are the best at what we do.
So how does that play into your ability to sell, having product knowledge? How important is that? So some people just get a job and they start selling, right? Or they start a business and they start selling. And some people really feel like, well, I can't really get out and sell because I don't know enough about the product yet, right? So from your standpoint, how important is it to, as soon and as early as you can, to be as really knowledgeable about your product as you can? Is that key, or do you just go out and sell?
It's essential.
Your clients will know if you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You have to use all your downtime to know what you're doing.
First of all, I think you have to be passionate about what you're trying to sell before you take that job.
So is passion more important than knowledge?
100%.
I don't.
Oh, I totally think so.
Oh, maybe depending on the
Because I
field.
can get real passionate about something. Just give me anything. I'll be passionate about it, and I can sell it to you.
Okay.
I don't need to know that much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
product knowledge.
In my business, if I don't know it, and I'm
You
just
guys
trying
are a
to
little
sell
more.
it,
You
it's
guys
a
have more
problem.
rules, and
Okay, well,
you have legal implications. I'm in like, I'm not
sign
like
this.
delivering babies. Listen, this is not. I mean, rocket science.
It's not rocket science.
No,
So you're like, I'm just a salesperson. Give it to me, and I'll learn it later. And I'll go out and start.
I can be passionate. If I'm passionate about it, it's sold.
So if you believe in the product,
100%.
I mean, it's very important that we know what we're doing, because this is, for us, this
I'm
can
not
be
saying
the
I don't think you
biggest
should know what you're.
no, but let's talk about that, because I think that's a big holdup for somebody.
investment
Well-
for a lot of people to buy a home.
Let me give you an example. So I go and I get my license to cut hair. Let's say I'm a hairdresser, and I've got to open up my own shop. Do I need to cut a bunch of hair before I go out and start marketing myself? Or do I need to start marketing and kind of learn how to cut hair while I'm kind of cutting hair?
Good at it.
Well, but
Because you won't have any
friends and family.
confidence. You have to have confidence and passion.
confidence and passion
Absolutely.
And knowledge.
and knowledge.
Well, and knowledge. You have to be good at it.
Yeah. Lisa definitely needs to know what she's talking
I'm
about.
just trying to think of like when I talk to other people on the phone, and I know they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're selling it.
Yeah.
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 It
Well-
just depends on your field. And
It's a big deal. It really is.
I think
Well, that's the biggest investment of their life for
Right.
most people. So that's a big deal. I'm selling.
trinkets and treasures.
But not. But all right, I go get my real estate license, and I haven't had a lot of transactions. Do I wait till I have transaction to market, or do I go market to get transactions? Do you see what I'm saying? What's important?
Join a team and learn.
So you say go get transactions and get product knowledge, and then go sell.
Find a good mentor. And
Work
let them
under-
teach
shadow
you
some-
the
shadow
business
somebody.
and continuing education. I mean, learn, just absorb as much as you can.
You
because
can learn
it's
as much
really
as you want.
important.
If you don't love it and you don't believe in it, you're not going to be able to sell it.
You're right. I agree with you.
Do y'all have mentors?
I had a mentor. I worked with John Rollator for 17 years.
Oh, yeah.
He taught me everything I knew about real estate, and his dad, Pete, told me everything I know about estate planning. They taught me, and I think they taught me also how to be a people person, how to like get into the community and really just get to know my surroundings. When I first moved here in '93, I was a foreigner. It was different in Alpharetta, and I was a damn Yankee. And I had to like get to know my community, and they took me in as family and taught me the business. And so I do think it's very important to have a good mentor.
So if you had a legal issue that you weren't sure what to do you have somebody out there that you would call?
For sure, I have different people for different issues that I
Gotcha.
call. Yeah, because I've been solo for so long, you know like 99% of what's going on, but sometimes you second guess yourself.
Right. Oh,
So you
yeah.
got to call somebody and say, phone a friend.
Yeah.
Hey, this is what I was thinking of doing. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, good. Because that's what I did
And that's
already. I just
okay,
wanted
right?
to make sure.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Oh, for sure. We all rely on each other.
Okay. So do you have a mentor?
Not one particularly.
Do you have somebody in the community that you would go to for advice or look up to? Yeah.
Absolutely. I have peers that I've had for years.
Different ones?
Years, yes.
For different things?
Yes, and people I can rely on if I had a question or a problem. And like I just called, I know an expert in every field.
Right.
Oh, 100%. I'm with 3 of them right here. So,
Right.
if I had a question, I would know exactly who to call. And actually, Rotary has helped me a lot with that.
So that was good, being in Rotary?
100%.
How about you, Don? You got mentors?
Wow, that's a tough question. I would say I don't necessarily have a mentor. I had a business partner from day one, and so I guess we mentored each other, and we grew up together in the business. She's no longer in the business, so I'm a solo act with an assistant and a social media gal, and we're trying to
Right.
figure it out. But today I reached out to the president and CEO of Atlanta Fine Homes and David Bomeg and said, hey, I'm getting ready to do this crazy video podcast with Steve Beecham, and can you help me out? Here's one of my questions. How's the market? Give me some statistics. And he was right on it. He called me.
So what did he
called
tell
me
you?
back. Oh, I got all kinds of
Well,
good
let me hear
news
'em.
for you.
Let me hear 'em.
Well, let's see. We were pretty spot on. We were in line with, what's going on in the market. Low inventory, historically low interest rates, COVID and how that has changed how we define our home and how important home is now. So that was all, we were on the same page. But I wanted to know things like property values. How much has a home in North Atlanta increased over the past year?
How much?
Well, according to David Bomeg, 7 to 8% in the last year.
1 year, that's big.
Yeah, that's been consistent. So he's just really, really good at.
So he's somebody you can tap into for information that's sort of a mentor. So let's go the other way with it. Is there anybody you are mentoring?
So I just hired a new associate. And she's been working with me as an associate for, I think, 2 weeks now. But I'm so excited because she just graduated from law school, and she's, 25 years old like I was when I first started. And I'm so excited to, teach her. I'm ready for that. I'm ready
Yeah.
to
Ready
devote
to
the
do
time
that.
and
Pass
do
it
that.
on. That's
I just
awesome.
hired an assistant. She starts on Monday, and I'm so excited to teach her. Because listen, I have made every mistake there is to possibly make. So I'm excited to teach her how to, maneuver it. It's not an easy business I do. People laugh about it because it's not rocket science,
None
like
of
they say.
none of the things
But
you
it's,
do are easy.
no, it's, their margin for error is huge.
Yeah.
So you can make a mistake in a millisecond. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to teach somebody. I love that.
Really?
Pass the torch, yeah.
It's your first one that you really kind of mentored?
That really wants to learn and grow in the business and develop. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
Donna, you got somebody you mentoring?
Absolutely. Oh, I hired an assistant about 18 months ago, so I'm mentoring her. A new agent in our office. I've been mentoring her this year, which has been interesting with COVID, but and a social media person, which I don't think I'm really mentoring her in the business, but yeah, And I think it's just really time to do that.
I do too.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to,
Time to give back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
we-
time to just share. I mean, all this
yeah, and get
knowledge
some help.
and passion.
We've been doing this a long time, and we
Well-
know what we own it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what we're talking about,
Yeah.
and
exactly.
we're ready to pass it on.
So
You haven't gotten to the question I want.
which one?
Are you following your script, Heather?
Is being female good or bad,
Yeah.
Lisa?
Oh.
Yeah, is
Well, let's hear
All right,
your answer.
it? Is being female good or bad?
I think it's amazing. I have no regrets about being a female.
You don't feel like in business that hurts you.
I have never felt threatened, entitled, unappreciated, unworthy. I've never felt like I have had to claw and scrape against another man for a job. Absolutely not. I would actually prefer all of them to go before me and then let me go in and present whatever I need to present. I never, ever, have
She's
ever.
just that good at what she does.
I've just never had a problem being, never thought that was a hindrance or any, and I also never used it as an advantage either. I mean, I just never considered it. I never walked in and said, well, I'm a woman, I'm going to wear high heels and get this job. I never, ever did I ever think that.
I wish we didn't.
I
have
still
to-
don't.
I wish we didn't even have that question, honestly.
Well, he wanted.
Well, but there are people that feel like that they don't get a fair shake because of their sex or color or race or national origin or right.
Some people are intimidated.
I'm going to. I looked at
think
that
we
question
are.
completely different. For me, first of all, when you go to law school, the classes are 50-50. When you're 10 years out of law school, there's not a whole lot of female attorneys left. They just
Have kids and stay home.
leave,
Okay, sure,
okay?
yeah.
So it's fun. And then in commercial real estate, there's only so many, and you all kind of know each other, okay? And so sometimes being a female in the industry is hard because it's just hard sometimes. I think it's much better now. But honestly, when I was like a 10-year out attorney and dealing with a whole range of 50-year-old men,
I imagine that.
and I didn't know everything, like now I know everything. Just kidding. It was really hard.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you another thing. I'm a girl. I get very emotional. I get very
Yeah.
emotional if you're trying to screw my
Yeah.
client. And I
We
might
call that passion, right?
I get it. That's a good way to look at it because I
Care.
get very passionate when something bad is happening to a client of mine, and I can't control it the way I want to control it, and I become
A mama bear.
and I always like a dude's not going to look at it the same way as I do. They're going to be like, all right, now I'm going home.
Well, there I think you have an advantage for sure.
Yeah.
You have an advantage to your clients 100% because even if you don't realize it, it's showing that you care. I mean, you're not trying to be a tough guy. You know?
No, but yeah, it's just I wish I had no emotion or no feelings sometimes. It's just hard.
can't help.
You don't
Yeah.
think that's a strength for you?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I
It can be. It's good and bad.
All right, so I think it was you, Heather, that said we need to have a word this year that starts with the first letter of her name. All right, tell us about it.
well, I picked helpful because I just need to be more helpful, I think, around the house.
What did you pick? Did we find yours yet, Donna?
Well, okay, I didn't go by that rule of
Wait,
What's
did you
your
say
word for the year?
What'd you say? Determined, disciplined.
well, so I usually pick a word every year, but it doesn't start with the first
Letter.
letter
You do
of my
whatever you
first
want.
name.
Whatever.
So
There's no
my word
rules.
was intentional because I really want to be a lot more intentional about the things that I do this year. I have to admit, over the past few years, I've just, I say yes to too many things, and I really need to be more intentional and focused.
So do you think other people have that same problem in business? They say yes to too many things?
I think it depends on your personality. I am just at my age, I'm ready to just make a difference. And there's not much that you can ask me. Well, I shouldn't say that. I won't say that. I say yes to a lot of things because I think it's important. I mean, one of the things we have in common is that we are involved in our community. And I heard A few years ago, I went to the Four Pillars Award, and the CEO of Georgia Power was getting the Four Pillars Award that year. His name escapes me at the moment, which is terrible. But he said, if you see something that breaks your heart, stand up and do something about it, and be a citizen where you live. And that just really hit, pierced my heart, and said that I've got to do this. I need to give back to my community. I mean, I grew up here, so, it gave so much to me, and I'm just ready to give back.
What's the number one thing from a marketing standpoint that you can't not do? What do you do from a marketing? There's some, like for me, it's my newsletter. I've been doing my newsletter for 15 or 20 years. That newsletter gets me 4 or 5 deals a month. There's no way I'm not doing that newsletter. Okay, so is there something that you do that you feel like is the cornerstone of your marketing?
Well, I guess social media for one. I hired a social media person because I think it's important that we have a presence, especially during COVID. That was really important.
Okay.
Monthly you have to stay in touch with your clients consistently.
How do you do that?
Well, our company provides a lot of that. We can set people up on market updates.
Send them newsletters?
You mean like in the mail newsletters?
Well, or email.
Blogs
Yes.
or whatever.
Yeah, we
Do
have
a
an
newsletter?
e-blast that the company provides that we can
Send
tweak a
thank
little.
you cards?
That should be on my improvement.
What do you do when you have a new listing? How do you promote that?
Send out a postcard
To people around the listing?
and e-blast it out to folks, letting them know that we have.
How do you add to your database?
My assistant does that.
But where do they get the names for the database?
A database like
If you want to increase your newsletter, who you're emailing your newsletter to, how do you put names in there to increase it?
Well, if they're a current or previous client, we categorize it. There's an A list, and do y'all do the same thing?
No.
I should. Do you get?
Yeah.
All
Do
my
you
clients
get?
are the
Where do you get your prospect list, like your prospect names to?
What do you do, Heather? You send out a newsletter, right? Or what do you do? You got a new product you want to promote.
People think you're in. I'm in marketing, but I'm in branding, so I'm in all hard good deliverables. I don't do market research or any kind of this social media study, as I probably should know more about it and do more about it. But I don't do enough. I wish I had a good answer. I feel like I did hire this social media company. I really just rely on my current clients. I feel like they're the best resource for qualified referrals.
You get a new product.
I'll call on my biggest fans to help me promote what I'm working on. Does that make sense? So, if I have champions in my circle, I'm going to use them. That's a bad word, but I'm going to ask them to help
Your
me.
raving fan.
To help that, to spread that. My best clients and my friends.
So this jam comes in, and you say, "This is really I need to get this out." You gonna call them or email them, or what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna give them all a jar.
You gonna go buy a jar and you're gonna hand deliver it?
I'm way generous.
You gonna hand deliver it?
Thanks for the jam, Heather.
I seriously, I think that is one of my missions and purposes in life is being generous. And I know I probably would give them a jar and say,
Like these peanuts she brought me in this beautiful bowl that she gave me tonight, and my Anchor Marketing.
Yeah, that was a
There you
nice
go.
touch.
let's see.
See, you're always.
But you don't have this one marketing thing that you do that you just can't not do?
No.
I think her marketing is her connection with the community and her involvement in the community. Every
I'm
Friday
present.
at
I'm
Rotary,
present. I have a face in the town. So, maybe that's it. I don't know. I show up and
if you think about branding and marketing, you think of Heather Demis. I do.
Thanks.
If I think of closings,
All right, so Lisa, what do you have this one thing you do for your customers?
Yeah, well, yes, I think so. It's kind of different. Well, it's not different. It's just, it's not a marketing thing. if my good clients, the people who refer me business, call me, email me, text me, I'm immediate. I try to be to return
Responsive, yeah.
and help them.
I'm hugely
because they're not
responsive.
always calling me to give me business, but they could be calling me to ask me a question to help their client, and I want to be that resource for my clients. I don't expect that every time they're calling me to give me business. I want to be there to help them with their business. And if I see a call from Steve, I'm picking it up. And if I'm not picking it up, I'm texting him and telling him I'm on the phone. I'll call you back in 30 minutes. And that's what I do for the folks that are good to me. I have a lot of people, thankfully, that are very good to me, and I want to be that good, if not better, to them. That's my goal.
I think presenting yourself as a resource to the people in your life is a huge gift. I mean, I have done that ever since I've been in business. Just even if you don't even know what you need, just call me. I'll help you. I know people. I can get you in touch with the right person. I've always been a connector and somebody that's willing to share my best sources, my friends who are experts. I mean, people will call me for very odd reasons that have nothing to do with marketing. But
a lot of your day is spent referring people to other people.
Because they know that I know people. And,
Exactly.
and absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm happy to do it. I mean, it helps me get talking, and who knows what will come from it. It always brings back around.
So, do you have a saying you say to yourself when you get something's going wrong or you need some pep up talk? Do you have a saying? What's yours, Donna?
Three. I have
Oh, let's
actually
hear it.
have three.
Okay.
My first one is life is what you make it.
Okay.
And I truly, truly believe that. And I think that we're all sitting here because of that. Did y'all see that movie,
Was
Hillbilly Elegy?
Yep.
At the end of the movie, they were like, you are where you're from, but who you become is up to you. I was like, boom. I mean, that was like, life is what you make it. I mean, every day.
So when you're tackling a problem, that's what you say to yourself?
Yeah. If I am,
It's a mantra.
yes. Like even walking in tonight, I mean, life is what you make it. I mean, why wouldn't I do this? This is awesome. I got my girlfriends here, talking to Steve Beecham.
Mine's a little different. I thought it was when you're tackling a problem or an
Yeah.
issue. So
Yeah.
I usually I'll say, just breathe. You're only human. I'll say, we are not delivering babies. This is not a life or death situation. Like
That's awesome.
I say that all the time. It
I say
calms me
that, too.
down. I'll say life is too short to get worked up over this. And I'll say,
Somebody screaming at you on the phone and you printed something wrong.
I'll say, just do the right thing and you'll be able to sleep tonight. Just do the right thing. And then I do rely on the four-way test a lot. It does help that the rotary four-way test is, if you just do the right thing, what else can you do? There's nothing else
Exactly.
to do.
That's all
now
that's all
do
you can do.
I mean,
So let's add
you're
to
only
that.
human.
I think we've got 3 out of 4 that are Rotarians here at the table.
I know.
Yeah, we
But-
got one about to be one. So what do you
Coming on
say?
Friday.
What do you
You
say
are? Then,
to pep yourself up to go forward? You have a little something like I can do this, or I got to go get it, or do you have anything that kind of put the little saying that kind of peps you up to go get it?
Well, just recently, because maybe it's taken me a very long time to become confident.
Yeah.
But like recently, I'm talking like in the past year or two, I'm like, I know what I'm talking about. Like, I don't have to second guess myself as much. I know what I'm doing. I've done literally any kind of transaction that I could have possibly have done over this amount of time.
You finally believe
And
you
I
have
finally
confidence
believe
in
I know
yourself.
what I'm doing. And when someone's telling me that I don't know what I'm doing, I might think about it for a second, and then I'm like, oh no, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to have confidence, and it took me a long time to get here.
yeah.
I didn't have a confidence problem. I mean, my whole life, I just never had a confidence problem. I just haven't. I mean, it's just,
No, that's cool.
and it's just, I just be you. Just do you. They don't like it. That's
Yeah.
their problem.
All right.
I don't
so
mean that in a
last
rude
question
way.
so we can wrap
That's
this
a good
up.
way.
But, you know, it's
I
just like,
think I think I wrote that in my notes.
and I tell that
Just
to
be
my
you.
kids. I
Be
mean, our
confident,
kids,
be
our
strong,
kids too. Just be you. And if they don't, I mean, they're gonna love you. Just don't try to be anything but
Just be you.
real. Just be
Yeah.
real,
Yeah.
people.
All right, last question. What's your life purpose? Why are you here?
That was easy for me. Was it easy for y'all?
It wasn't, and then I got simplified and it got real easy.
So, Donna, what's your life purpose?
My children. I mean, my 3 children are my purpose. I mean, I just have worked really hard to raise 3 solid, well-adjusted young adults that own who they are and work hard, and hopefully I have mentored them and given them an example to give back to their community and make a difference.
Sweet. Heather?
Mine is to be a positive, generous, creative, inspirational light to everybody.
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 Everybody you
Family,
touch.
friends, business, everything. I mean, whoever sent me here, that's what I was meant to do.
To light them up.
Yep.
What do you think?
You know, I like Donna's answer. I liked Heather's
Oh, and I love my
answer. I love my kid.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget that. No, I just want to be kind and good to people. I want to help others. It's funny because for me, I come from a family where many of the females are like social workers and such. And so I joke around and just say like, I'm a social worker that gets paid better, you know, because my job is to help others.
That's awesome.
Whoa.
I love that.
You think that's bad?
No, I love it.
No, that's like I'm
No.
writing the damn,
I'm a social worker
email
that gets
newsletter on
paid
that.
really well.
That's it, damn Connor.
That's strong.
That
That's a
may
strong
be
statement.
one of the most profound things I've heard in a long time.
Yeah.
You got a quote book?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Start one right now.
It's up there on the wall over there. I've got all my stuff. Okay, so that's a great way to end. So anyway, thank y'all for coming and yeah, it was good. It was good. And so we'll get this out to everybody. And so thank you for staying with us on a beach talk, and as we try to do some podcasts and break it up and put it out. So thank you.